You may be wondering why I'm dancing today. I'm actually not dancing. I'm very angry this morning. I'm really, really upset about the state of things. A very dark picture, very, very dark straits that we are in this country. My name is Emmanuel Ujadigele, EM Ujadigele on Twitter, Emmanuel Ujadigele on Instagram, and on Facebook, Emmanuel Ujadigele. Welcome to Spring Trends on Western Spring Television. Of course, where I tell you who is trending, what is trending, why they are trending, and what people are saying about the who, the what, and the why. Now, last week, Friday, I went out on an assignment to check out town and talk about, the Naira crisis. And I wanted to purchase puff puff and soda and egg roll. And I decided to pay via transfer because I didn't have cash. And the woman, the vendor, asked us to add 50 Naira to our payment because we're paying via transfer. I was shocked. I didn't know why. She said because it's transfer and then they will debit her. She has to withdraw from the person. Like, I will also have to bear the brunt. So I'm paying you to pay you. I don't understand. So now let me show you what I put up on Twitter that people reacted to. I put up a tweet and said that vendors now collect between 50 to 100 Naira charges if you intend to pay them via transfer. I'm paying you to pay you your money. We're our own problems. Very sad things happening there. Now let's see the responses that we got on that story. We begin with Arinze Chukwu Sitadimma Chukwu Kadibia. It says, and the POS operators still have people still have mouth to complain about POS people doing the same. I'm personally marking everyone who is doing such around me. None will see one cover from me after this is over. I support this person wholeheartedly. Aramonko Beyonce says, they are even charging you people. They are not taking transfer anymore in my area. Either you come with cash or you are going home empty-handed. That's the that person's Aramako Beyonce's response. Art enthusiast Ray Bash Kenny says on 300 Naira transfer, she said I will add 200 Naira for bank charges. I tire well. That's Ray Bash there. And Sir Moshegun says this is exactly my grudges against one woman in my area just now. How can I buy 300 Naira something from you? And he asked me to add 50 Naira to the transfer. I angrily left the place. It's utter cheating from us to us. Oluwaloshola Adewumi says, exploitation on another level. It's tiring. The last vendor I bought something from wanted to collect 200 Naira on 2,000. She said she has to pay heavily to be able to collect the cash from POS people. TIS said, I did too yesterday. I was shocked, but paid 100 Naira for an item worth 1,005. Apostle Godson says, it is very sad. One was complaining to me how the bank would charge her for money received. I also told her that I will be charged for sending. Yes, that's it. I think many of them lack proper education in this regard, and it's what I feel banks should work on. And Lengem says, I wanted buying the bottled cashew nut of 2,500 Naira today. I asked the woman if I can do transfer, and she told me I'll have to add 300 Naira to the transfer. And the 300 Naira is going to be her charges when she goes to withdraw the money. I kukuma no buy again. So I don't know what language that is. I think it's Benue. Offer says they are shifting the tax burden, stamp duty 50 Naira to the ultimate consumer. And Nee Stark, our last commentator, says, I understand people's position and why some need to pay the POS ransom. Yeah, it's ransom. Now it's ransom, POS ransom. But me, I have no business with any POS operator. Now bank, I give my money, and it's bank that owes me. POS won't take even undeserved 1 Naira out of my money. Not happening. Now, after all of this has been said and done, I have a message for the POS operators from MC Rio. This is my message to you, all these POS operators. Your time is coming.
POS vendors, POS. Ilé ayé ti bàjẹ́. Ẹ lọ bèrè ayé lọ́wọ́ hand sanitizer àti face mask. Ìgbà yẹn á padà lọ o. Ìgbà yẹn á padà lọ. Ó dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ lọ báyìí. Ó ti lọ tán. Ó ti lọ. Ìwọ lórí láyà. Ó ní kí n fi 800 gba 2K. 800 kí n fi gba 2K. Màá pè bí mọ́nú. Ebi á pa mí o. Ṣùgbọ́n màá dúró díẹ̀ lẹ́nu bodè.
Cyril, thank you so much for speaking my mind, and thank you for speaking the minds of millions of Nigerians. POS operators, your time will soon go. Go and ask people who were selling face mask and what's it called now? and sanitizers. Your time will soon go away. Now, away from POS, but still talking about the cash crunch, let's come back to, let's go up north, to the north now. Northern governors seem to have a different opinion about the cash policy. Right there on your screen, you can see that last week, Governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle, ordered people in the country, in the state, that they should report anyone who's rejecting old notes so that the police can arrest them. He was not the only northern governor who has made a statement. Let's take a listen to what Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State had to say about the cash crunch and the directive that is given to the people of Kaduna State.
Kuma gashi tare muke alƙawarin nan duk wani ɗan jihar Kaduna da ke da tsohon kuɗi daga nan zuwa shekara 4 in dai an zaɓi APC uba zai mayar masa da kuɗinsa zai so ku daina canza kuɗi kuma ku gaya ma kowa a daina kai kuɗi banki in kai sayarwa da ka karɓi tsohon kuɗin an baka ku daina cewa sai sabon kuɗi za ku karɓa kasuwancin ku zai tsaya abin da ake so kenan ku gaya ma kowa a jihar Kaduna duk mai tsohon kuɗi ya je ya sayayya ku gaya ma kowane ɗan kasuwa ya karɓi tsohon kuɗi Nasir El-Rufai da Uba Sani da Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu sun yi muku alƙawari in har an zaɓe mu wannan tsari za a canza shi a ba kowa iyakan lokacin da ya kamata ya canza kudinsa daina mai da kudi banki ku rike kudin ba wanda zai mai da kudin ku ba su da daraja doka ne ba wanda ya isa.
Well, that is a very worrisome video, if you ask me. It's very worrisome that a sitting governor is asking residents to flout the order of the CBN and the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the government. It is very disturbing, you know, Nasir El-Rufai telling people to stop changing their old notes, to hold on to the old note, and they should not ask for the new note. Very disturbing, conversation there. But let's see how people on Twitter and Facebook responded to Governor Matawale's order to arrest anyone who rejects the old note. We start with Rinu Oduala. She says, and how constitutional or lawful is this? On what law is this order based on? That's Rinu's response there. We move on to this second response. It's from Olayinka. He says, when it's not a military regime, you know, how do you, if a resident in your state refuses to accept old Naira note because of the uncertainty surrounding the currency, will you arrest every single resident in the state? That's a very big question. Ishaq Abubakar Wali says they don't want old notes to be rejected during the poll because they want to use it to buy votes. Well, the next one is from Tiakola Setrebon. Says never has solutions, always arrest or ban. And that seems to be Nigerian reaction to almost everything. Once there's no solution like this, the next course of action is to ban or to arrest or to dismiss. Or the next comment is from Tita. It says these people have stolen billions of naira which they are not able to return them to the bank, and they wanted to force it on their respective state in order to help them spend it. But this can only happen within your state, Sha. Ikenga Onye says, cabal in cabals. Meanwhile, he has no just right and as well lack the jurisdiction to persecute anyone that rejects the old note. Rather, if he wants to make it right, he should work with banks and at central bank, not unjustly persecuting masses who receive most heat on this issue. We move over to Facebook, and Decency of Obuike says, how many CBN governors do we have in Nigeria? Which way, Nigeria? Very important question. Zion Evo says, so you are now a CBN governor and a state governor. Is one of the problems of Nigeria? Or you go and stay in the markets or street and be arresting people? And KK Kislin says, we don't want it again. Tell your co-politicians to release the new notes CBN had printed earlier on. They are nowhere to be found. Politicians and bank managers should provide the missing newly printed currencies. Melody Ozigi Peter says, while Governor Zulum of Borno ordered banks to make the new notes available, a clown is trying to arrest poor citizens who don't have the old currency with them anymore. But that's what's happening on the streets. That's what's happening in northern Nigeria. The governors are giving different directives to their residents and to their indigents. From the cash crunch, we'll move over to security. And we're talking about drug security. Yesterday, the spokesperson of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Femi Babafemi, tweeted that a church general overseer had been busted. He wrote that you go to seek refuge in the house of God, and there the shepherds recruit you into drug trafficking. What type of playing is this? Anyway, the details of the arrest of Daddy Gio and others by NDLEA Nigeria in Lagos will come out in our statement soon at noon. And almost immediately after that, the statement did come out from the NDLEA. The name of the general overseer is High Priest Nondu Azuka Kenrick, who is the general overseer of Seraphic and Sabbath Assembly Lagos. They were arrested over attempts to export methamphetamine. Let me take it again. Methamphetamine and skunk consignments concealed in kegs of palm oil through the narco export shed of the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Now, let me show you the video of that attempt by that general overseer and what he did, how they packaged the drugs in the kegs of palm oil. Well, right on your screen is the statement by the NDLEA, but let's show you that video that was released by the NDLEA to show you how the general overseer was able to package drugs into kegs of palm oil. I've always said that Nigerians are very creative, but sometimes they could be destructively and illegally creative. You can see how much the drugs were concealed in those kegs of palm oil. Now let's take reactions to that story on Twitter. SK Usman is our first commentator. It says, I am glad that you have started beaming your searchlight in the most unexpected places. I believe there are more elsewhere. Kudos. Uncle Deji says, an incredible act as they fraudulently hide under the banner of being a religious leader. The momentum should be sustained on this mischievous element, irrespective of their social or religious status. Jem says, even at a place we are supposed to get healing, salvation, and guidance against illicit acts, it's fun to be deeply enmeshed in this mess. May God help us. Posh Mama says, I think there are 3 things responsible for these successes. The witchcraft NDLEA is using is working. 2, they are using 25th century scanners now. 3, NDLEA got a man of integrity as head who has refused to turn a blind eye to drug barons, because the ingenuity of Baron, well, she didn't finish her comment. Baba Abe says, I can't wait to see the GO being exposed. Yeah, we've told you who the GO is. We need the kind of democracy being practiced in Rwanda to have the polity cleaned of all these vices. Bolaji comes next, and Bolaji says, dear at NDLEA Nigeria, there's only one Daddy GO, and is humble enough to be called pastor. I beg, no, they use that title or appellation wrong. Nisubuida, no. You can simply use other titles like GO, Founder, Supreme Head, etc. You see that Daddy GO, I beg, leave them for us. Well, the next comment is from Dark Logic. It says, it's quite unfortunate, but these are some of the merchants of death that destroyed the reputation of the church, massively tainting its image before the world stage. Sad. King of Salem says, corruption is a spiritual problem. When it possesses one, it can only lead to disgrace and calamity. Thank you, Baba Marwa, for this wonderful job you are doing. And Dave Uday says, when I call them pulpit bandits, their gullible followers will come after me. We don't have church in this country. What we have here is slave camps. Go and work from Monday till Friday, then bring money to them. This person seems to be angry. I don't know who hurt you, but may you find healing in whatever you do. Moshood says, I always said this, when you see people with overnight wealth and they are spending extravagantly, in most cases, 80 over 100 is either they are into drugs or armed robbery. And Oluwole Olofintoyi says, what's happening in Christendom? Well, you can only ask what's happening in Christendom, because yesterday something almost changed the narrative about Christians and Christendom. Yesterday, a letter, you'll see it on your screen shortly, was purportedly written by one pastor, Francis Onwumere, and that letter was accusing the Christian Association of Nigeria of misappropriating 2 billion naira that was given by presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, to the churches under the umbrella of CAN, a Catholic bishop, and the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, to further drive his mandates during the Youth season. You can see the allegations right there. So many things were said that the 2 billion naira was not given out as it should be given. Now, interestingly, almost immediately after that, the person who was said to have written that letter, Francis Onwumere, came out and made a video. And this was what he said in the video in trying to debunk that allegation that was attached to him and his name.
I don't even know him. I've never seen 2 billion or 2 million in my 2 billion in my eyes. I've never seen it. If 2 billion is like money, I don't know it. So how would somebody say that Peter Obi gave me? You people are liars. If you are afraid of Peter Obi, tell him that you are afraid of him than to start spoiling his name. True people like us, you think that they are popular in Imo State. So please, my brothers and my sisters, never you. I bring my face. I took my time to bring this face for you people to see. That man everybody is talking about is not true. They are liars. The church is not existing. I don't even know the CAN president or CAN chairman in Imo State. I don't own a church.
All right, so immediately after that also, let's take a look at the response of the Christian Association of Nigeria. As put up yesterday, they said that they were going to investigate that petition over the alleged 2 billion naira monetary gift by Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, dividing religious leaders. And now the part of the statement by the Christian Association of Nigeria, according to the Special Assistant on Media to the CAN President, Daniel Oko, he said that the office of the CAN President never saw such a letter or petition and did not know where the writer also got the CAN stamp on the letter from. And that was what worried me yesterday when I saw the letter. And Jana Mike says CAN is made up of 5 blocks and all of that. And now you can't just say Obi gave money to Catholic and PFN. How about the others? He said, noting that something is suspicious about the letter and that they're going to investigate that letter. And this is the bottom line. Now let's take reactions on Twitter. And Peter Obi Ambassador 007 says, meanwhile, this is the said pastor that signed this so-called letter. You can see the person he's in there. But the man has come out, like you saw in that video, to say that he never wrote any letters. The next comment comes from AK Priest, says he has debunked the rumor, talking about the person who was said to have written the letter. He has debunked the rumor. We'll move on to Ogecha, says, I am not Peter Obi's supporter, but this letter might have been forged to tarnish Obi, CAN, and the entire body of Christ. Thank God that CAN issued statement last week that they haven't endorsed any candidate. Despite Pastor Eneche open support for Obi, not all his members will vote Obi. Ola Salami says, you know Obi does not give money, says the CAN official who responded to the media inquiry. So the CAN official is now Obi's accountant and speaks for him. I don't know what Nigeria's problems are. The person you said wrote the letter has come out to say he didn't write any letter. What else do you want? How do we satisfy you people in this country? Tired Niger man one says, ha, 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 ha. Peter Obi to give 2 billion naira to a church is like telling Tinubu to run from Oshodi-Oke to Oshodi-Sale alone. Imagine the impossibility. Oh, move on to Freedom. Freedom says, another uplifting story has surfaced. Like every other, this shall come to pass. And in the end, Peter Obi will triumph and advance. Promotion, promotion, promotion. Look no further. The story is from Imo State. Imo State is the governor. It's a state that has a Supreme Court governor. Their governor came fourth in the election and somehow was declared winner of that election by the Supreme Court. Anyway, Celestine Obi says, at Peter Obi that could not give Mbaka Shishi is the one that will give CAN 2 billion. With who they play for Nigeria. Obi will rather use the money to build schools or hospital, donate to communities than waste it on bribe. Obi is stingy to waste money, but prudent in managing resources. Peter Obi's pharmacist says all this accusation because of Lagos rally yesterday. You guys don't know that the supporters at home are much more than those at rallies for Peter Obi. In a Tinubu Lagos with all the attacks, and yet the mammoth crowd was insurmountable. Get used to Obi as your president. Kabiru MK says, Buying the Christian leaders isn't going to aid PO in any way. The best important thing is that people are now wise enough to go for the right thing. Peter Obi has already been classified, and that can never change from the mind of the majority of Nigerians. Eon Blogger is our next commentator, says APC has resorted to insulting Christians with cheap blackmailing. It shows they don't regard Christianity and think the religion is all about money. Well, that's where we leave it on the show this morning. We've shown you so many things happening over the weekend on social media. Very soon there will be some adjustment to the show. Don't bother yourself, but you get to see what it is. My name is Emmanuel Ojadigele. You can follow me on Twitter at EM Follow me on Instagram, Emmanuel Ojadigele. On Facebook, Emmanuel Ojadigele. Follow our station on all our social media handles displaying on your screen right now. I'll leave you with this song. It's a popular song by Chief Ebedinza Obeya Imasiko Lunda Mueda, but it was rendered by some beautiful kids all the way from India. Enjoy this song and have a beautiful Monday and have a beautiful week.